Howdy everybody, welcome back to Cool Stuff Etc. My name is Riley and today we're going through all the B's in the death metal, just the metal, not just death metal I should say, all kinds of metal CD collection. As you might notice, there is quite a gap here. Those are all the B's that were taken out. There's a huge stack next to me. I dare not move it because it's precarious. It is on the verge of tipping over. So I'm just going to get right into it so that I can start to whittle this down so it's not so intimidating. But yeah, we have quite a few to go to. I'm going to try my best to be brief. I have a couple of bands, several CDs by several bands. So when it comes to that, I might just show those kind of in rapid succession and kind of talk about the band in general. I might stop here and there to discuss individual records of longer discographies. But To Get Started is a band that I knew very little about when purchasing, but ended up really enjoying. And that's this band. Let's see if you can see it. Barbarian, cool kind of like airbrushed album cover. I believe this band is from Italy. They're kind of like speed blackened thrash metal. They're from Italy. And yeah, this is actually quite good. Some good sing-along vocals on some of these songs, especially the last track, the title track. To know God, shall I kneel. This was a total blind buy from my local record store that I go to, just based on the cover art. And I did a little bit of research, I guess, beforehand. But this is quite good. I enjoy this. You should check it out. All right, the first band that I have several albums by, starting off with Baroness, the Red album, followed by Baroness, the Blue record, followed by not Yellow and Green, because I don't have those, Purple, and I do not have Gold and Gray. So I have these three albums. I mean, the artwork on these, so beautiful. It's done by the lead singer of the band, as far as I am aware. Just very, very, very beautiful artwork. And that goes for all their albums. These are albums that, for me, are hard to qualify as certain genres. I know people consider them to be sludge metal, which I kind of hear a little bit of. I hear progressive metal to an extent, but not in the sense of like Dream Theater or something like that. And I also just hear, especially on Purple, a lot of traditional heavy metal influences, but they kind of mesh to be its own unique thing. This is a very unique band in my eyes. They're doing their own things. They have a lot of great songwriting on all their albums. I'm least familiar with Blue, I would say. Most familiar with Purple, and this is certainly my favorite of theirs, with Red kind of coming in second. But I think none of these albums are slouches. I just need to give more time to Blue before I can have like a decent opinion. If you're going to start somewhere with this band, I think Red isn't a terrible choice, but I think Purple is actually the best. It's the most accessible. It's not the most indicative of their sound for certain, but it is great. Is this camera moving? It is. Sorry, I have it in a really bad spot. I just feel like I was like leaning this way. Purple's great. The songs are hard to read because they're in this like circle pattern. The first song, Morning Star, is great. Shock Me, Kerosene, If I Have to Wake Up, Would You Stop the Rain? The best track, Desperation Burns. Such a good song. Totally listen to that song. Like I said, very good, cool. This goes here. Very good, kind of sludgy, a little bit sludgy, kind of just normal, traditional heavy metal. Recommend it. Give him a listen. Next up is Beheaded. Kind of hard to see, but there's like a dude here. This album is called Only Death Can Save You. This was a blind buy from Indie Merch Store, and they are a brutal death metal band from, I'm guessing from the US, but possibly not. And it's pretty good. it's pretty good. Not totally my thing. I think I really dug it on the first couple of listens, and then it kind of just lost me a little bit here and there. But there's some good tracks on here. Let me see if I can pick them out from the track list in just a second. Ow. Embrace Your Messiah. God damn it. Stop moving. Sorry, I'm frustrated. I think that's pretty much the one that I remember the most. But there's 9 songs on here. They all kind of fill the same niche, I guess. Not bad, but not like I said, not totally my thing anymore. But, give it a listen, see if you like it. Okay, this is a big one. The Satanist, Behemoth. This is a very, very popular band. Relative to even actually not, I would say not even relative to the genre, but they're kind of blackened death metal. They kind of started out as more of a traditional black metal band and kind of went more progressive with it, more conceptual. And so this is their this is kind of like their breakout, critically acclaimed release, and it is quite good, I have to admit. I don't think Nergal, who's the lead singer or songwriter guy, I don't think he's like the coolest dude. Like, I think he's kind of a chud, but the music speaks for itself, I think, and it is quite good. Some very interesting rhythms, very cool melodies, and kind of sung vocal choir parts. Lot going on here. It's been a while since I put this on, but like I said, it is kind of a modern classic, so can't go too wrong there. I have nothing else from Behemoth, but I do have this Beherit, Oath of Black Blood. I believe this is like a re-released demo. Seems like it's on Nuclear War Now Productions. I think there's some bonus tracks on this edition. This is like some pretty, I don't know if I want to say raw black metal, but it's pretty rawly produced. Kind of from back in the day. Or no, is it from back in the day? It is, right? God damn it, I have to check it out now. I believe it's from back in the day. I could be very wrong about that, but I'm almost certain that it is. Finland, I should mention that. It's Finnish black metal. It's a compilation of demos that's what it is. Okay. Compilation of demos here. Pretty succinct, pretty short. To the point, it's raw black metal, I would say. And I don't know, I've really only given this one a couple listens, so I don't have a whole lot of opinions about it, but it is another kind of classic-ish band. I think they're kind of like, in terms of their notoriety, they're kind of like a B-list black metal band, but they are, by the people who know them, they do love them, so, And then, speaking of raw black metal, we have Black Salice, Transfixion of Spirits. This is the only Black Salice album I've listened to, and the only one that I own. But yeah, damn, this is good. Very atmospheric, raw black metal. It kind of, the vocals kind of fade into the fog of this buzzy guitars and the drums, and it's really, to me, it's akin to ambient music. This is like music I can listen to while I'm reading, or not to put me to sleep, but like, I can like it kind of relaxes me in a way, even though it's like meant to be very evil and dark. But the end result is that it's quite relaxing, I would say. So yeah, Black Salice are a band that I need to get into more, honestly. I think the issue is just that I can't find any physical releases, and I could check out on Bandcamp, I think, but I don't know if they have too many other releases on there. I feel like they don't. From what I feel like I would have listened to them at some point. Black Salice is quite a good band. Okay, here we're getting into a big stack. These ones I'm going to show really quick, and just kind of talk about the band. So I have all of this band's releases. It's one of the few bands that I have that for. So this is Black Dahlia Murder, Unhallowed. This is a melodic death metal band, and I think they're really great. They're not a band that got me into the genre earlier on. They kind of came a little later, but they're quite a talented group of individuals, and I think that they have a lot of great songs. They have quite a few duds. I think their earlier albums are a lot better than a lot of their mid-era / later albums. But even their later albums have a lot of good things going on. God, I hate this. I need to get like a fucking stupid tripod thing. I talked about them in my journey into death metal video that I posted previously. And I would say if you're gonna go with any of these records, this is cool cover art. You should go with Unhallowed or Nocturnal or this one, Deflorate. This is great too. Then we have Ritual. This is the one I've given the least time. It's the last one that I ended up listening to, even though it's kind of middle of their career. Everblack is good too. I would say it's like just below the highest tier of their releases. You have In Hell Is Where She Waits For Me, which is great. Phantom Limb, Masturbation, both great songs. This whole album is pretty good, actually, so I would recommend that one. Abysmal, I think, is my least favorite of theirs. It's kind of the most generic sounding. I do think the album art is pretty cool. But yeah, it's just the most generic sounding for me. Let's fold open like this, and then you can reveal the full artwork, which is quite awesome. Nightbringers, which is kind of, for a lot of people, was kind of a return to form, where Abysmal was kind of like, a little bit off the beaten path kind of thing. This one unfolds, I'm now remembering, this one unfolds in a very strange fashion. I hope the CD doesn't fall out, but yeah, unfolds like this, which is just silly, but whatever. But this is kind of a return to form. Again, it's not like my favorite of their releases or anything, but it's quite good. And then finally, Verminous, which is the last album they released before their lead singer passed away, or possibly might have, from my understanding, committed suicide or something like that. So very, very sad. R.I.P. again to Trevor. I know I always say that whenever I talk about this band, I should say. But yeah. But they're still touring. Their guitarist is now the vocalist, and they got a new guitarist. They're kind of continuing on, which I think everyone agrees is what Trevor would have wanted. So what can you do? But yeah, it's really, really sad about that guy. So he was a cool guy, it seemed like. So all right, continuing with bands that start with Black. We have Black Flag, the only Black Flag album that I own, which is kind of a weird one. This is, Black Flag is, of course, a classic hardcore punk band from the 80s, I would say, if I had to guess, early 80s. This is 84. And, their first release, Damaged, is kind of straight ahead punk rock. And then you get into their second album, My War, and it gets quite a bit more experimental, kind of jazzy, or free jazz is kind of like thrown in there. And then this is a very strange album. And so, if you see here, the first half, before Armageddon Man, are all spoken word, kind of poetry, or just spoken word, I guess, of Henry Rollins. Armageddon Man is Henry Rollins and Black Flag, the band, doing a song together. And then the last three songs are instrumentals only. So yeah, very interesting release. This is probably one of my more favorite Black Flag albums. I think My War is probably more up there than this one. But yeah, this is a great album. You should check it out. Definitely don't start here with Black Flag, unless you're a weirdo. Okay, another band with Black in the name, and another band that I have several releases from. This is like a no-brainer. Black Sabbath. This is their self-titled here. Do I need to say anything? It's Black Sabbath. Everyone should listen to Black Sabbath. They're one of the greatest bands of all time. It's not a cliche. That is the truth. If I had to pick a favorite, I think I would have to say Paranoid, even though it's kind of like the basic choice. But I think it's the truth. Followed by this one, Master of Reality, which is probably the second best. Maybe tied in my mind with their self-titled. And then the only other Black Sabbath CD that I own is Volume 4, which is not their best, but still quite good. There's some great songs on here. Snowblind, of course. Wheels of Confusion. Supernaut as well. And then I have listened to Heaven and Hell, which I love, but have not ever procured the CD for, which is a shame because it's great. I am going to destroy this phone as soon as I finish recording this video. I'm going to break it with a hammer. Okay. Next up, I'm getting to the end, so stick with me. You've been here for 15 minutes. What's a couple minutes more? So stop complaining. Blasphemy, the Fallen Angel of Doom. This is a classic sort of war metal release. If you're not familiar with war metal, it's kind of like, it's black metal. It's kind of black metal ethos, but kind of taken up a notch, I would say, in terms of heaviness and sort of brutality, I suppose. This is a band that takes themselves a little too seriously for my tastes. They have, it's called side A is Side Darkness and side B is Side Impurity, and they all have their very, very serious, very aggressive names, such as Nocturnal Grave Desecrator and Black Winds. Traditional Sodomizer of the Goddess of Perversity, which is one of the better songs on here, I believe. Goddess of Perversity is quite good. And Black Hearts of Damnation and Impurity. So yeah, this is like Caller of the Storms. This is like a kind of, it's not tongue in cheek, but it is like, if you're gonna take it this seriously, you kind of have to like recognize it. It's a little silly, but it's fine. It's really cool still. It's really good music. And I believe they're Canadian, if I'm not mistaken, which seems like a strange place for a war metal band to come from, but who am I? Okay. Next up is another band. This is actually a band, I guess I do have their, well, no, I don't have their full discography because I don't have their newest, but Blood Incantation. This is their EP, Interdimensional Extinction. I will admit I have not listened to this nearly as much as Starspawn or even Hidden History, which I will show now. But this is a band that I very, very much love. I will support them in everything they do. I should have gone and seen them. I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't go see them with Full of Hell. It's fine. This is Hidden History of the Human Race, which if you look over here, oh, very familiar. I don't know if I've showed that side of the room in these videos before, but yeah, this is a great band from Colorado. Death metal, kind of cosmic-y, kind of cavernous. Kind of a bit of everything, honestly. They are, just death metal, I would say, but kind of progressive in a sense. Like they have longer songs and strange riffing and ambient parts and sort of like clean guitar parts and stuff. No singing or no vocals, no clean vocals like that. But great band, love them. I have to listen to Time Wave Zero still. I can't believe I have not listened to Time Wave Zero yet. Okay. Here we have another classic band. This is a band that all the metalheads know. They're all going to go crazy for it. This is Bolt Thrower. This is Realm of Chaos, Slaves to Darkness. This is like the only album that's like kind of totally Warhammer 40k influenced, as you can see from the cover. And from the back cover with titles such as Through the Eye of Terror, World Eater, Drowned in Torment, kind of sort of, larger than life war stuff, whereas their later releases were more war focused, strictly war focused. And War Master. This is my favorite Bolt Thrower, I believe, I would say. And yeah, this is a great album. I don't know if I talked about Bolt Thrower at all in my Journey into Death Metal video. I feel like I might have. I must have. I feel like I must have, but maybe not. If I didn't, that's my fault. But yeah, this is a great album. So good. If you're going to start with Bolt Thrower, I think that's the one to start with. Followed by The Fourth Crusade. I think this is actually a lot of people's favorites. And I can't blame them for that because this is a very, very good album. But yeah, it's not my favorite. I think this one kind of drags on a little too long for me. The songs are all kind of a little long-winded, which, that's kind of Bolt Thrower's thing, to be honest. But it's not totally my thing, all the way through, I should say. But yeah, there's some great songs on here. You have Spearhead, of course. Icons. Where Next to Conquer. This Time It's War. I even like the outro, Through the Ages, even though it's super long. It's kind of an interesting outro where he's like talking, kind of a like spoken word type thing, over like a very slow and doomy instrumental talking about like war literally through the ages. So kind of a cool concept there for an outro track. And then the only other bolt thrower that I have is For Victory. I am desperately in need of getting Mercenary and then listening to, and also, what's it called? Honor, Valor, Pride, something like that. And then I haven't listened to Those Ones Loyal at all yet. So I need to listen to that and get that as well. And then I'll have all the bolt thrower stuff on CD. Excluding their, I don't know, do people consider their like grindcore like first album, like is that like considered canon? I'm not really sure. But yeah, this is actually, I think I might like this better than Fourth Crusade. I'm not totally sure, but it's very good. Okay, 3 left, and they're all from different bands. So this is Borknagar, The Olden Domain. This is black metal, kind of a Viking metal, pagan metal, pagan black metal. Oh yeah, I forgot, this is broken. This came to be broken. Damn, that's a bummer though. I should get a new jewel case for this. But yeah, this is a great album. I need to listen to this more. This is awesome. I need to listen to this band more too, just in general. But so yeah, Viking metal, kind of some, like, it's my first kind of dip into Viking metal. I don't think I've listened to any other Viking metal bands, not even like Bathory Viking metal stuff. As you notice, I don't have any Bathory CDs. But yeah, this is awesome. It's been a long time since I listened to it, and it's black metal, but it's very melodic. There's as you would expect, there are passages that are very reminiscent of Vikings, lyrically and musically, I suppose. And yeah, just wow. I need to listen to this again. This was great. I listened when I first listened to this. I listened to this a lot all at once, and it's been a while. Brutal Truth, Extreme. Wait, what is it? Let's see. Extreme conditions demand extreme responses. So true, Kings. This is a grindcore. Maybe people consider it death metal-y, but I think it's mostly grindcore outfit. This is, a classic album. Yeah, it's just straight ahead grindcore, no frills, just for fun. Sort of political, I would say, in a lot of parts. And they have the classic, track 7 is Collateral Damage, the classic grindcore 3-second song that, all the old grindcore bands do, and even some of the modern ones do as well. I haven't listened to this too much and listened to some more, but this is a great band. I already know that, even from my few listens of it. And yeah, can't recommend it enough. It's a classic for a reason. And finally, Burial Invocation, Abiogenesis, or Abiogenesis. It's right there if you need to read it. I don't know how to pronounce it necessarily. This is a Turkish death metal band, and this is their only full length from 2018, I believe, and they haven't released anything since then, and it's a damn shame because, God, this is good. I don't want to say this is progressive death metal. This is death metal, but the songs are quite long, have lots of different passages that kind of flow in and out of each other, different kinds of riffs. God, this is a great release. I think a lot of people did talk about this when it first came out, but it's been a while, and I haven't seen anyone that I follow talking about it. And, I can't believe it's been 4 or 5 years. But yeah, this is a wonderful, awesome, cool death metal album. I don't have the best adjectives. I am trying my best. Yeah, get of anything in this video. I'm sure people have heard a lot of the other albums that I talked about, but if you haven't listened to this, very, very highly recommended. This is awesome. I need to listen to this again very soon. This is a great album. Yeah, that's it. That's all my B's. So next time we'll get into some C's, and that's not too long. It's about from here to here. So nothing crazy with the C's. And getting into, I'm noticing the D's are not super long, and the E's are quite short as well. So might be doubling up on letters here. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'm having a lot of fun going through. It's reminding me of all the albums that I need to listen to some more, give some more time with. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope you stick around for next time, and see you then. Have a good night.